Hey there, Alan here, rvacrossamerica.net. It is late July. It is a smoky, kind of smoggy morning here in northeastern Utah. This is unfortunately typical because of the forest fires that are ongoing throughout much of the West. And I am in the final stages of recovery from my hernia surgery. I'll tell you more about that in a couple of minutes. Today's topic, RV buying tips. And that means that the post is going to be at rvacrossamerica.net/RV buying tips. I had a recent conversation with a potential client, and as with almost every interaction I have, it's a learning experience, whether I am the consultant working with them as somebody who's helping them to buy a camper or sell a camper. I'm still learning. And after I got off the phone with this particular gentleman, it was a very enriching call. I reflected on his situation and I decided I want to share it discreetly with you so it doesn't reveal anything in particular about him, but something that we can learn from. Because this is why I'm calling it RV Buying Tips. It would help anyone who's looking to purchase an RV camper. So allow me to share with you the introductory paragraph, if you will, that I've written into the post. And again, the post is at rvacrossamerica.net/RV buying tips. That's one string, RV buying tips. So I go on to say, purchasing an RV and expecting a positive outcome involves several steps to ensure a successful experience. And I'm referring not only to the purchase process, but the ideally years of ownership that follow, peaceful, peace-minded ownership that follow. You know, I've owned my camper now for almost 8 years, and most of it has given me peace of mind. It's not a case that I wake up every day and wonder what's going to break next. That's the kind of experience I want for my RV concierge clients, and that's the kind of experience that I think any buyer wants. And that requires, as I indicated in my initial sentence, a series of deliberate steps and actions, a series of deliberate steps and actions that will maximize the likelihood that you are making a purchase which is going to be trouble-free for years and something you're going to enjoy for years. Make sense? And I post several bullet points as to what these action steps are. First of all, knowing which RV campers are built well, which is not many, and which are better off avoided, which is most of them. You know, often people call me up and say, Alan, we're looking for an RV and we're so confused. There's fifth wheels, there's travel trailers, there's motorhomes, there's Class C, there's Class A, there's Class B. And within each category, there are dozens of manufacturers. And I say, well, that's okay. Once we figure out what type of camper is best for you, the number of manufacturers that actually produce a good product is fairly small. So it's not like you have to sift through a whole lot. Next point, what to look for in a camper when purchasing. There are issues with both new and used campers. I'm referring to the specific camper that you decide you want to purchase. What condition is it in? And even if it's brand new, you need to go through this thing with a fine-tooth comb. And I've got a post written on rvcrossamerica.net. I believe you could search your last chance and it'll show you some of the things that I recommend going through when you do your final walkthrough before signing any significant paperwork and giving them the final payment. That's when the dealer is highly motivated to actually take care of you until that moment when you own it, not them. What out the door price to pay and no more than. In other words, don't get emotionally involved in the purchase, especially right now. Know that deals can be cut. I mean, for my concierge clients, I'm going for the jugular with the seller. And we're getting deals on top of deals. I've got a recent post where I talked about getting a $183,000 motorhome brand new for 112. And that's the kind of stuff that can happen if you know what's possible and what's reasonable and you're willing to go for it. So know what the best price is that you should pay no more than. What extra upsells that are going to come up in the F&I office, the finance office, the final closing office, if you will, that they're going to make you that you should consider, or are there any worth considering? That's again a conversation I have with my clients. And the consequences of signing for a loan for the soon to be your camper. I used to approach my customers when I was in RV sales a decade ago and say something along the lines of, so how can I help you put yourself into debt for years to come and purchase something that's going to do nothing but depreciate from the moment you purchase it? Very true. And that's something you need to be aware of. When you sign a loan, there is every reasonable possibility, depending on how the loan is structured, that and how much you put down, that you're going to be upside down for a period of time. Are you prepared to keep the camper during that period, or are you going to be in a situation like this gentleman was, and you'll have to go to the article to read it, because that's where all the details are that pertain to this. And again, the article is at rvacrossamerica.net/RV buying tips, because I get into each and every one of these as to what went on and where he may have missed the boat and where he could have protected himself further. And again, not to promote my concierge service, but that's what I do. And if you're interested in that, you can go to rvacrossamerica.net/buy sell, BUYSELL, or just give me a call at 307-269-2546. I'm probably in Mountain Time, and that's the best way to reach me. You'll be reading about the specifics of his situation and again, what we can learn from what happened. Now, as far as me, it's the end of July. Tomorrow, I meet with my surgeon to have him give me hopefully the final blessing that I'm good to go and I can start lifting my kayak and I can start really enjoying life again. I've been back on the bike. I've been walking, of course. Those of you that follow me know that I've been walking 2 to 3 miles a day right after the surgery. And then I got back on the bike about a week or a week and a half ago, and I'm now up to over 10 miles a day riding on the bike, and that's even in some pretty ridiculous heat and a little bit of smoke here in Vernal. It's not that smoky, but it's enough to be obnoxious. I will be taking off in about a week and a half. I'm going to be heading back up to Wyoming, and you'll be hearing more from me about that. We'll be talking about hot springs, we'll be talking about paddling, and we'll be talking about visiting friends in Casper and more. So that's coming up. And in the post itself, you'll find some photos of recent adventures that mostly involved Isaac and myself. We headed out through much of southern Utah. I still have more to post about that through central Utah and eastern Nevada before I'm finally done with that particular chapter, which was late winter, early spring down in the southern Utah, eastern Nevada region. So that's coming up. Anyway, Alan here, rvacrossamerica.net, and this post is going to be at rvacrossamerica.net/RV buying tips. I want to hear from you. Leave a like if you can, subscribe, and leave a comment. I read all comments. And if you're seeing this on my post, scroll down to the bottom. You can leave comments there. If you're seeing this on my post, be kind. Click on the YouTube icon that's for this video and go directly to YouTube and you can leave a post over there and leave a comment. Thank you very much, and we'll talk soon.